Hello, it's the Tales Show, and I'm your host, Tales. You see, recently I've started to take an interest in Gothic architecture. Architecture features in Western Europe during the Middle Ages constitute of symmetrical structures of dark shades and grotesque ornaments. But the most well-known symbols of this art style are gargoyles, darksome creatures silently watching us from the great cathedral's rooftops. Okay, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. Hello and welcome, my dear friends. Let's skip the art history lesson and meet our guest instead. He's as hard as a rock on the outside, but as soft as butter on the inside. Please welcome Goliath! Where is he? What do you mean he's heavy? Well, who have you brought here? Where did you... Mother of... Notre Dame Cathedral? Okay, find me Goliath. Yes, from the Gargoyles. Gargoyles is the 1994 animated series produced by Walt Disney in retaliation to famous animated series Batman by Warner Bros. It's hard to believe that the company that brought us Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Bambi, Scrooge, and others to the world could create a show so dark, serious, and interesting that it could be competing with the adventures of the Dark Knight. As strange as it may seem, Disney has almost got it. Though the cartoon's atmosphere hasn't managed to catch up to Batman, its plot, characters, animation, and thrill factor are almost at the same level. Okay, you hear me? Do what you gotta do, but find him. Ugh, and I have to work with these people. Who are you?
I'm DJ Boy's son.
Who?
DJ Boy. Since you don't have a gargoyle here, maybe you'll review my game for Sega Mega Drive.
Wait, DJ Boy? Sounds familiar. Get out of here.
You'll be sorry for ditching me. I won't forget it.
Finally, okay. He's as hard as a rock on the outside, but soft as butter on the inside. Please welcome Goliath! Hello, Goliath. We were lucky you were nearby. We were waiting for you.
Let me tell you, it's been a surprise for me that you've asked me here to your show. Thank you. What do you do here, anyway?
Usually after a guest arrives, I tell a little bit about them, a story of their success, and ask them a couple of questions.
Okay, I'll be delighted to hear what people say about me nowadays.
As you wish. Goliath is the lead character in the animated series called Gargoyles. As I was saying earlier, it was a first show for Disney with the wing-bearing monsters as main characters. I'll start my story right from the beginning of this fascinating series. The storyline tells us about the Vikings who, in 994, after a short struggle, managed to breach the defenses of a Scottish castle. But in the middle of the struggle, the Gargoyles woke up, the stone guards of the castle, the creatures previously unknown to them. Gargoyles usually start waking up at the sunset and start chopping up their enemies.
Let me mention that we, Gargoyles, try to not shed any blood unnecessarily.
Oh yes, these fellows will be okay, that's for sure. Anyway, the attack was fought off, but not many people think of gargoyles as heroes, more like enemies you need to fear. Here we can see that Disney exploits a prejudice, like the heroes are being judged by their appearances, not their deeds. The same idea follows through X-Men, the animated series, but this cartoon takes the development of this idea in a slightly different direction. After a betrayal of the castle's commander, the townspeople were captured and almost all of the gargoyles were killed. These actions left some long-lasting scars in the souls of the gargoyles. But the most infuriated is Goliath's beloved one, Demona. We'll talk about her later. Despite the offense that was taken, gargoyles led by Goliath come to rescue the hostages. But the resident magician casts a spell on the rescuers which will only be lifted when the castle rises above the clouds. After almost 1,000 years, a multi-billionaire David Xantos did just that. He transports the castle to the top of his skyscraper in New York, and the stone demons finally wake up. Let me stop right here. You see, one advantage that this series has is that the plot is rather solid. Every action has a consequence. Lies, betrayals, and suspense build up, and I don't want to spoil it for you. We'll have a review of our main characters in the next part. Thank you for watching The Tales Show. We'll meet our guest again in the next episode, and if you wish to support our project, click right here. Thank you, and see you next time.